inaasahan ang kabalikat ng bayan. Handog sa miyembro, serbisyo magkabago Express.
Mabuting araw, Ma'am Pat.
Mabuting araw, Luis. Thank you. So, mabuting araw, mga ka-eskwela. Let me just start sharing my screen. I hope you can see it already. There. Can you see it?
Ayan, ma'am. It's
Yan.
already
Okay.
visible on our end. Thank you, Ma'am
Ayaw ta-
Pat. The floor
Thank you,
is yours po.
Luis. Thank you. Kala ko ayaw tayo patapusin, no, for the webinar episode 8. So, muli mabuting araw, mga ka-eskwela. Ako po si Patricia Braganza from the Member Education Department. And for our last topic, pero sana samahan niyo po kami pa rin, no? We will be talking about the annual confirmation of pensioners, or the ACOP program. So, sa umagang ito, this will be the outline of our presentation. Pag-uusapan natin kung ano ba ang ACOP, who are required to report for ACOP, when and how to report for this program, and what are the documentary requirements. So, to begin with, no, marahil sigurado ko lahat tayo may kamag-anak or kakilala na pensioners ni SSS, at for sure, narinig na natin yung mga katagang, naku, kailangan kong pumunta sa SSS, kailangan kong magpakita, kung hindi baka ma-cancel o mahinto ang pension ko. For sure, narinig na natin yan. At ito po yun, ito yung ACOP program na tinatawag natin. It refers to the reporting of the pensioners to SSS on a yearly basis to ensure continuous payment of their monthly pensions, subject to their continuing eligibility to the said benefit in accordance with RA number 11199 or the Social Security Act of 2018. Ito po yung programa na iyon na ginawa natin para ma-ensure na talagang yung mga pensioners mismo natin ang nakakatanggap ng ating benefit. So, kailangan malaman natin nandyan pa ba sila at sila pa ba ang nakakatanggap nito. Kaya mahalaga po itong ACOP, or the Annual Confirmation of Pensioners, or ACOP program na tinatawag natin. So, who are required to comply with ACOP? Lahat po ba ng pensioners ay kailangan mag-comply dito sa ACOP? So, narito ang mga criteria natin sa mga nanonood or on board this eskwela webinar. Kung kasama kayo sa mga criteria na ating pag-uusapan, then required po tayo mag-ACOP. Unang-una dyan, ang retiree pensioners residing in the Philippines who are 80 years old and above, no, starting March 2024, ay required na po silang mag-comply sa ating ACOP program. Ikalawa, retiree pensioners residing abroad. So, sa mga pensioners natin na nasa abroad, hello po sa inyo, required po kayong mag-comply dito sa ACOP program natin. Next one, total disability pensioners. So, kanina diniscuss, no, patungkol sa disability benefit. So, if you're a total disability pensioner, you are required to comply with our ACOP program. Another one ay ang ating death and survivor pensioners. Sila naman yung mga, let's say, no, ako ay may asawa at yung asawa ko ay SSS member at siya ay namatay. So, nailipat sa'yo yung monthly pension. Ikaw ay tawag namin sa'yo ay surviving legal spouse, no? So, kasama ka dito sa ating death or survivor pensioners na required mag-comply sa ACOP program, at dependent children under guardianship. So, sa mga on-board ng ating eskwela webinar, kung kasama kayo sa mga categories na ito or may kamag-anak kayo na nandito, no, sila ay isa sa mga pensioners na nasa screen natin ngayon, pakitulungan po kami sabihin sa kanila na kailangan nilang mag-comply sa ACOP. Otherwise, ay matitigil o mahihinto ang kanilang monthly pension. The next very important question will be, when to comply, no? When do we have to comply with this ACOP program? So, iba-iba po ang ating mga schedule of compliance depende sa pagiging type, no, or type of pensioner. Example, If you're a retiree pensioner or a total disability pensioner, your schedule of compliance is on the month of birth of the pensioner. So example, retiree pensioner, ang birthday mo ay June 19. So required ka mag-comply ng iyong AKOP within the month of June. Meanwhile, kung ikaw ay death or surviving legal spouse, let's say, no, ang birthday mo nung spouse, nung surviving legal spouse, ang birthday niya ay June 19, hindi ka dun pupunta. Ang schedule of compliance mo or ang pagko-comply mo kay AKOP ay kung kailan yung month of birth of the deceased member. So kung yung asawang namatay, ang birthday niya ay December 25, so ikaw ay pupunta within the month of December. For our dependent children or under guardianship, month of birth of the member or the month of birth of the deceased member naman ang schedule of compliance. Moving forward, the very next question ay tatanong dyan ay how to report for AKOP, no? Paano ba kami magko-comply dito sa AKOP program ni SSS? So, alam nyo ba na number one option dyan ay ang with personal appearance or visual confirmation. So, nandiyan yung over-the-counter, pupunta ka sa any branch, any SSS branch nearest you para mag-comply dito sa ating AKOP program. But, besides that one, may option 2 pa tayo, no? Without personal appearance or without visual confirmation. Mas tinrenten or pinatatag pa natin itong mga options natin na without personal appearance following pandemic. No? Nung pandemic, nakita natin yung hirap na pupunta ka pa, lalabas ka pa ng iyong bahay. So, para hindi na kailangan ma-risk mo pa yung safety mo at your fingertips, ay maaari kang mag-comply sa AKOP without the need to go out of your homes and go to our branches. So, may mga options tayo na without personal appearance at iisa-isahin natin yan ngayong umagang ito. So, I hope handa na lahat ng mga pensioners, no, na makinig sa ating paraan kung paano mag-comply sa AKOP. So, unang option dyan ay ang AKOP through personal appearance. Meaning to say, may personal appearance, pupunta ka mismo, makikita ka namin mismo para ikaw ay mag-comply kay AKOP. So, option yan. Pwedeng gawin yan ng ating mga pensioner. Kung ikaw ay retiree or death pensioner, pag ikaw ay mag-AKOP through personal appearance, kailangan mo magdala ng duly accomplished AKOP form. So, mamaya, pag-uusapan natin yung AKOP form, no? Dapat duly accomplished yan. And dapat may ID yung ating pensioner. Either one primary ID card or document or at least 2 secondary ID cards or documents. So, yan ang dadalhin mo kung ikaw ay mag-AKOP through personal appearance. Para naman sa ating total disability pensioners, kailangan din ng duly accomplished AKOP form, as well as ID ng pensioner, no? One primary ID card or document or at least 2 secondary ID cards or documents and a copy of the medical document to support the disability benefit. Now, if available yan, maganda na may supporting document ka as a total disability pensioner. And for our dependent children under guardianship, so kailangan pa rin ng AKOP form, IDs of the guardian, so one primary ID card or document, or at least 2 secondary ID cards or documents, as well as the dependent's ID. So, example niyan, school ID ng dependent child, yan ang dadalhin natin. Ma'am, paano yun? Hindi available yung school ID. So, in the absence of the school ID of the dependent child, pwede pong i-submit ang birth certificate, no, ng dependent child. Yan ang pwedeng ipasa in lieu of the school ID. So, yan yung mga documentary requirements depending upon the type of pensioner. So, saan naman ipapasa to, no? Saan natin gagawin tong personal appearance, ika nga, for our AKOP compliance. For our pensioners, no, retiree pensioner, death pensioner, total disability pensioner, dependent children under guardianship na nasa Pilipinas, you can do this personal appearance in any SSS branch nearest you. Sa ating website, meron po tayo dyan na branch directory sa ating SSS website at www.sss.gov.ph. So, makikita nyo po yung listahan ng mga branches natin dyan. Kung ano po yung pinakamalapit na branch sa inyo, ay pwedeng doon kayo mag-compliance through personal appearance. Meanwhile, sa ating mga pensioners na nasa abroad, so hindi nyo naman kailangan umuwi pa ng Pilipinas, no? Dahil may mga foreign offices tayo, foreign SSS US branches tayo, worldwide also. So kung ano yung malapit na foreign office namin sa inyo, pwede kayo doon mag-personal appearance to comply with your AKOP. So yung, once again, yung listahan ng ating branches, local man yan or foreign, ay nasa website natin. So you can check it out after this webinar session kung ano yung pinakamalapit na office ng SSS sa inyo para hindi po tayo mahirapan. Okay? So that's just the first option, no? Through personal appearance. Second one is through a representative. So yes, pwede tayong mag-comply, no? Pwede mag-comply yung mga required pensioners natin through a representative. For our retiree and death pensioners, ang kailangan lamang nating ipasubmit through a representative ay ang duly accomplished AKOP form. But take note, dapat ang nakapirma dyan ay ang mismong pensioner. And in case naman yung pensioner ay may hirap na or hindi na niya kayang pumirma, pwede siyang kailangan, hindi siya pwede, no? But kailangan niyang mag-affix ng kanyang fingerprint in lieu of the signature kung hindi na kayang pumirma. So next one ay IDs of the pensioner and representative. Take note, participants, and hindi to or, no? So kailangan may pagkakakilanlan or ID, one primary ID card or document ang ating pensioner or at least two secondary ID cards or documents, and pati si representative dapat ay may mga valid IDs, as well as the chest level photo or snapshot of the pensioner while holding a newspaper or with the background of a TV news. So ano to, no? Yung chest level photo or snapshot na ito ay mahalaga sa amin para alam natin na yung pensioner ay buhay nung araw na yon. Kasi 'di ba yung newspaper, may headline yan for the day. As well as sa TV, yung TV nasa likod mo sa background, nandoon yung news scroller or ticker. We call it ticker in a technical term. So, nandun yung headline for the day. Eh, di ba yung headline today, hindi naman pwede share yung headline bukas, di ba? That's unique for a particular day. So, we would know that our pensioner is alive on that particular date of publication of that headline, okay? So, yan yung sa ating retiree or death pensioners. Ating total disability pensioner naman, pwede rin mag-comply through a representative. Same documentary requirements, duly accomplished form, IDs ng pensioner and representative, chest level photo or snapshot of the pensioner while holding the newspaper or with the background of a TV news with a news scroller and ticker, as well as the medical document of the pensioner. Very important yan para suportahan yung claim na total disability pensioner yung nagko-comply ng ating AKOP. And as a sample participants, ayan, ito yun, no? Paano ibibigay yung chest level or snapshot nung pensioner while holding the newspaper? Yan, kitang-kita natin na hawak niya ang newspaper with the headline of the day, no? Dapat visible yan or clear. Or kung wala namang newspaper, pwede ring TV. So sa TV, dapat visible ang news scroller or ticker na naglalaman ng headline for that particular day. And reminder natin, the date of the newspaper or news scroller or the ticker on the TV must be within 3 days upon the submission of the AKOP compliance. So wag naman yung 2 weeks after na yung newspaper, medyo expired na yung headline na yun or yung date ng iyong pagko-comply. So dapat within 3 days ay masubmit natin yung AKOP compliance once na na-take mo yung photo na hawak mo yung newspaper or nasa likod mo yung TV with the news scroller or the ticker, alright? So that's the second option, through a representative. Third one, no, madami tayo actually. Third and fourth, no, pinagsama ko dito, ay ang AKOP compliance through email, electronic mail, or mail, the post mail or the snail mail. So, for our retiree or death pensioners, ayan, maganda to kasi hindi mo na kailangan pumunta sa branch or hindi mo na kailangan mag-ask ng somebody to go, no, to represent you. So, at your fingertips, at the comfort of your home, so pwede kang mag-send ng email for you to comply with AKOP. So, ano yung kailangang ipasa dyan? For the retiree and death pensioners, syempre, hindi mawawala ang duly accomplished form. IDs of the pensioner, one primary ID card or document, or at least 2 secondary ID cards or documents, as well as the chest level photo or snapshot of the pensioner while holding a newspaper or with the background of the TV news scroller or ticker. So yan yung mga ipapasa natin or i-attach as supporting document sa body ng iyong email na isisend. For our total disability pensioner naman, syempre nariyan ang ACOP form, IDs of the pensioner, pati yung chest level photo or snapshot while holding the newspaper or may TV background ka na news. News po hindi variety show. Dapat news na nakikita yung headline for the day and the medical document of pensioner. Kailangan naka-attach yan sa email. For the dependent children naman, kung ikaw ay dependent child na may guardian at ikaw ay magko-comply through email, same documentary requirements pero this time mag-a-attach ka rin ng ID ng pensioner plus the dependent's ID. Okay, so dependent's ID natin dyan, once again, example niyan ay school ID, pero kung walang school ID, ay pwedeng ipasa ang birth certificate, no, in lieu of the school ID. So itong mga documentary requirements na ito, depende kung anong type of pensioner ka, ito ang i-attach mo sa email na isi-send mo sa atin para mag-comply ng ACOP. So for sure, ang question nyo ngayon, ma'am, kanino namin isi-send na email, no? Anong email address ang padadalhan natin? So nasa sa inyo po kung kaninong branch nyo gusto i-send yung inyong ACOP compliance. So, sa ating website, may listahan tayo ng branches dyan. Makikita nyo doon yung corresponding email address. So, let's say, gusto nyo magpadala sa SSS Cubao. So, pwede kayo mag-email doon sa i-send sa email address ng SSS Cubao ang inyong compliance with these attachments, no, with these documentary requirements as attachment dun sa inyong email na ipapadala. Kung mail naman or snail mail, no, sa mga residing in the Philippines. So, syempre, ipapadala natin yan dun sa addresses ng ating local branches, okay? Ma'am, paano naman po nasa abroad kami, no? We are retiree pensioners residing in abroad and we want to comply through email kasi maganda yung email, no? No need to go out of your homes. So, ipapadala nyo naman yan sa email address ng ating mga foreign offices or directly to our OFW Contact Services section. Ang email address po nila ay ofw.relations@sss.gov.ph. At pwede nyo rin ipadala through mail, no, sa mga addresses or location ng ating foreign offices worldwide. So for the list of branches, you can get that through our website at www.sss.gov.ph. So yan na ikatlong option, no? Ikatatlong at ikatlo at ikaapat, no? Kasi una, through personal appearance, then through a representative, tapos ngayon, at your fingertips, no? Through email or mail, ay pwede rin kayong mag-comply sa ating ACOP program. At alam nyo ba, pwede rin kayong mag-comply through video conferencing. So talagang pinaigting ni SSS yung different means on how our pensioners can comply dito sa ACOP para ma-ensure natin na tuloy-tuloy na matanggap ng ating pensioners ang kanilang benefit, no, at mapatunayan natin na sila pa rin mismo ang nakakatanggap nito, ang ating mga beneficiaries or ang ating mismong pensioners na talagang eligible to receive the benefit. So how do we comply through video conferencing? Actually, you can request an appointment for ACOP through video conferencing via email. So possible yan through Microsoft Teams or Viber. Itong ginagamit natin ngayon, it's Microsoft Teams. And if you have Viber, no, napaka one step away lang po yan para makakomply ka through Viber. So how would you do that? Just send us an email to any of these following items natin. No? We have the corporate email of SSS branches or service offices. Or sa mga nasa abroad naman, corporate email of SSS foreign representative offices or at ofw.relations@sss.gov.ph. So magpapadala po kayo ng mail sa atin ng email, no, for you to request na mag-comply po kayo through video conferencing. Following this format, ito ilalagay natin sa subject line, no, halimbawa, ACOP-VC and then your name, Juan de la Cruz, and kung ano pong type of pensioner kayo, retiree, retirement, pensioner ba kayo, death, ba kayo or survivor pensioner? Dependent child ba kayo? So ilalagay nyo yung type of pensioner and in the body of the email, just indicate your preferred date and time for your ACOP video conference as well as the SS number of the member or the deceased member. So syempre yung preferred date ninyo, we will work around that preferred date and we will let you know kung approve po ba na doon tayo sa preferred date ninyo mag-video conferencing. So sa mga magpapadala ng mail or email request sa atin for a video conferencing, please wait for our reply sa inyong mga email addresses na pinagpadalahan nito. And at the moment, did you know that meron tayong 19, no? 19 branches nationwide na maaaring mag-akop video conference via Viber. So, kung nasa NCR kayo located, so we have the following branches: SSS Binondo, Cubao, Diliman, Makati Hill Puyat, Makati JP Rizal, New Panaderos. Kung taga Luzon naman na ating mga pensioner na gusto mag-comply via Viber, no, pwede tayong mag-send ng request sa Bacoor, SSS Bacoor, Baliwag, Calamba, Malolos, Pampanga. For our pensioners in Visayas, we have in SSS Bacolod, Cebu, Iloilo Central, or MOC, and for Mindanao, Cagayan de Oro, Davao, General Santos, and Zamboanga. At the moment, 19 branches po yan. Pero syempre, we will keep on doing our best na mas mapadami pa yung mga branches natin na pwede mag-Viber, no? Mag-video conference via Viber. But at the moment, kung nais nyo mag-comply through Viber, we know may mga ibang pensioners mas prefer nila ang Viber. So, pwede kayo magpadala ng request sa mga branches na ito na nasa screen nyo ngayon para po ma-assist na natin or ma-facilitate ang inyong compliance via the Viber application. At para naman sa ating mga pensioners residing in abroad, no? So, pwede rin kayong mag-send sa amin ng request sa OFW Contact Services section at ofw.relations@sss.gov.ph para ma-assist natin kayo kung paano natin gagawin ang video conferencing for our pensioners in abroad. So, yan naman para sa compliance through video conferencing. Yung nakikita nyo, ang dami talagang paraan para mag-comply sa ating ACOP program. And we also have participants, our ACOP compliance through home visit at home, hospital, penitentiary for pensioners residing in the Philippines. Ang kailangan lamang ay mag-submit ng email, mag-submit through email or through a representative, a letter request signed by the pensioner, relative or guardian of the pensioner indicating the reason kung bakit gusto nyo mag-comply through a home visit. So, ano ba yung possible reasons dyan? Let's say the pensioner has physical conditions which hinders him or her na lumabas sa kanyang bahay kaya gusto niya mag-request ng home visit, or let's say the pensioner can no longer speak kaya hindi rin possible sa kanya yung video conferencing, no, hindi siya makasalita kaya talagang yung compliance na gusto niya i-request is through a home visit, or di kaya the pensioner is not of sound of mind already. So those could be possible reasons para mag-request tayo ng home visit or hospital or penitentiary visit for our pensioners residing in the Philippines. So all you have to do is to submit through email or a representative a letter request, and submit also soft copy or photocopy of the pensioner's ID. So once again, one primary ID card or document yan, or at least two secondary ID cards or documents, and pakisamahan po ng sketch of the place where we will be visiting you, no, para mag-guide kami paano kayo pupuntahan sa inyong mga bahay. We also have our compliance din through some of the banks at the moment, no, to our pensioner clients of the following banks listed on your screen right now. Pwede rin kayo mag-comply sa inyong mga bangko. Ang kailangan lamang gawin ay mag-submit ng duly accomplished ACOP form and present one primary ID card or at least two secondary ID cards. No, yan yung ating mga proof of identity if you will be complying naman through the banks listed on the screen right now. And for sure, ang tanong ng iba dyan, ma'am, kanina nyo pa binabanggit yung AKOP form, no? Saan ba natin pwedeng makuha yung AKOP forms na yan? So all you have to do is to visit our SSS website at www.sss.gov.ph, at sa ilalim po ng ating homepage, makikita nyo itong naka-encircle ng red ng ating forms. So, i-click lamang yan and you would be seeing the different forms na pwede nyong kunin. So, kung kayo ay, particularly for AKOP, no? Kung kayo ay retiree or total disability pensioner, click this one, no? Para ma-download at ma-accomplish na yan. Kapag kayo naman ay surviving legal spouse, i-click itong pangalawang hyperlink na nasa form section ng ating website. At kapag kayo naman ay representative, ito namang ikatlo. So yan yung mga pwede nyong i-download na forms natin besides the other available forms in the SSS website. So ito yung mga example niyan. So for our retiree and total disability pensioner, for our surviving legal spouse, so you would be seeing na talagang nakaspecify yung form kung depende sa type ng pensioner. So make sure to check the type of form, no, that you are accomplishing. And very important also for our pensioners, if you have some changes as to your details, so dapat po ay mag-accomplish tayo ng pensioner data change request form at ipasa po sa ating branch, any branch nearest you. So, itong mahalagang katanungan, no? Ito yung parating na itatanong sa amin din. What will happen if a pensioner fails to comply with AKOP? So, sabi natin, the AKOP is very important for us to know na buhay pa ang aming mga pensioner at sila mismo ang nakakatanggap ng benefit due na dapat sa kanila talaga. Paano naman, ma'am, kung hindi kami makakomply dun sa scheduled date, no, for this AKOP compliance, what will happen? Did you know that if a pensioner fails to comply with AKOP, non-compliance will result to the automatic suspension of pension benefit 1 month immediately after the pensioner's schedule and automatic cancellation of pension worse, no? After 2 years from the month of the suspension kapag hindi tayo nag-comply sa AKOP. Pero wag po kayo mag-alala if ever naman, let's say, ma'am, in good faith, no, talagang nakalimutan ko lang mag-comply sa scheduled date for my AKOP, na-cancel. Let's say, na-suspend ang iyong monthly pension dahil nagkaroon ka ng failure to comply. Once that you comply with AKOP, no, kapag naalala nyo na at let's say, nagkasakit kasi kaya hindi nagka-comply, ngayon kaya na niya mag-comply with AKOP at nalaman niya through this webinar na madami pa lang paraan kung paano mag-comply sa AKOP. So once you have complied with us and submitted us the required documentary requirements that we have discussed earlier, so maibabalik naman, may possibility naman na ma-resume muli ang monthly pension na nasuspend, no, nung ikaw ay nagkaroon ng failure to comply with the AKOP on the scheduled date. Okay? Kaya very, very important na talagang mag-comply tayo on our scheduled date, no, na ating diniscuss earlier, depende kung anong type of pensioner. Kaya in summary, for our AKOP program, so complying to this program is very, very important. We have established that throughout this session that we are talking on the subject matter. At very important din that we want to let you know, participants, sa mga pensioners nating on board this eskwela webinar, at sa mga participants natin na hindi pa pensioner, pakitulungan kami to spread the word ng kahalagahan na mag-comply dito sa ating AKOP program, at hindi lang to nalilimitahan sa personal appearance na pag-comply, because you can also comply through a representative, through email or mail at your fingertips. No need to go out, no need to go to the branch. Pwede kayo mag-comply dyan. At kung gusto nyo through video conferencing, possible din yan, no? Through Microsoft Teams and Viber. Or kung gusto nyo bisitahin namin kayo through home visit at home, hospital, through home visit, hospital, penitentiary for pensioners residing in the Philippines, possible din yan. So as you can see, hindi lang po ito nalilimitahan ng literally, personally ka pupunta sa branch. So, pero kung gusto mo pumunta sa branch, okay na okay po, welcome kayong pumunta para mag-comply ng AKOP. Pero we are also encouraging you, no, to really use the different modes para talagang safe na, hindi na kayo kailangan lumabas ng bahay, hindi na kayo kailangan magbiyahe pa, no? Very comfortable kung nasa bahay na lang tayo. So you can comply at your fingertips through the online platform. I-maximize natin yan. You can send us an email, send us a post mail, or through video conferencing. So, madaming paraan. Sabi nga, no, kapag gusto, maraming paraan. Kapag ayaw, ay madaming dahilan. So, para maiwasan natin rather na masuspend or makansela ang ating mga monthly pension, mag-comply po tayo sa ating ACOP program. At if ever man no may late na pumasok sa eskwela webinar at hindi nasimulan ang ating discussion dito, and particularly with regard to our ACOP, you can also check out the circular on it, SS Circular number 2023-013, on the revised guidelines on the annual confirmation of pensioners or the ACOP program. You can scan the QR code kung nais nyo pang mas pag-usapan ito sa bahay pag-uwi nyo together with your family members or friends. So, to our participants, we hope na na-inculcate natin ang importance ng iba't ibang benefits na from the first topic a while ago on the disability, on the EC benefits, as well as dito po sa ating ACOP program, which is really, really important for us to have a continuous receipt of our monthly pension no, for our pensioners. And that ends our session on the ACOP. So, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, proteksyong maaasahan. So, we hope that you appreciate the services that we offer to you, our members, as well as to our pensioners. So that ends our session. Muli, mabuting araw po sa ating lahat at maraming salamat po. Back to you, Miss Louise.
Thank you very much then, Ms. Pat, for that very detailed discussion on our third topic, no, about annual confirmation of pensioners or ACOP. So I'm sure, Ms. Pat, naliwanagan no yung ating mga mahal na members patungkol sa ACOP kasi marami rin pong nagtatanong yan sa mga seminars, and not all of our members are really fully aware para saan ba yung ACOP na yan. So thank you very much sa detalyadong pagpapaliwanag, and now dadako na po tayo sa ating question and answer portion. So I guess ready naman si Ma'am Pat, no? So for our first question from Ronnie. So thank you for this question. Ano po ang example ng primary ID card or document na maaaring ipasa?
Thank you, Miss Abby. And hi kay Sir Ronnie na nagtanong na ito. No, magandang katanungan ito actually para maging aware. Ano bang mga primary ID card? So madami yan. Unang-una na dyan kung meron kang UMID ID. So yan ay primary card natin na kina-consider. Or kung hindi ka pa UMID ID, yung old na SSID pa, yung color blue. So pwede rin yung primary ID card. Driver's license, firearm registration, license to own and possess firearms, ang ating NBI clearance, passport, voter's ID card, seafarer's ID and record book or the seaman's book. Yan ang mga examples ng ating mga primary cards na maaaring ipasa to comply with the ACOP program.
All right. So, dadako na tayo sa next question, Ma'am Pat. Okay, for our second question, galing naman to kay Andy, no? Andiyan pa ba si Andy? Ang lola ko po ay 85 years old na retiree pensioner. Required po ba siya na mag-ACOP kahit nakatira po siya sa Pilipinas?
Hello, Andy. So, hello din sa lola mo na sana ay nandito rin sa ating eskwela webinar or i-share mo na lang. So, as we have discussed earlier, for our ACOP program, starting March 2024, required na po yung mga retiree pensioners nating residing in the Philippines na 80 years old and above. So, sa case ng lola ni Andy, yes, required na mag-ACOP ang iyong lola na 85 years old. Salamat!
Oh, yan, Sir Andy, nasagot na po ang inyong katanungan. Now, dadako tayo sa ating third question from Emilia. Okay, saan makakakuha ng ACOP form?
Okay, Ma'am Emilia. So, yan ay makukuha po natin sa ating SSS website. Bisitahin lamang ang website natin at www.sss.gov.ph. At sa form section, i-click nyo lamang yan. And particularly under the annual confirmation of pensioners or ACOP, piliin lamang kung ano yung form na applicable sa iyo. If you're a retiree pensioner or surviving legal spouse or dependent child, may particular na form na naka-correspond sa iyo doon. So, i-click nyo lamang yon at yun ang i-accomplish natin at i-submit for your ACOP compliance. Thank you.
And next question po, Ma'am Pat. Kapag po nag-early ACOP compliance, example, this September 2024, pero ang birthday ni member ay Feb next year pa, hindi ko consider yung ACOP niya ngayon? Tama po ba? So from Anonymous.
Okay, thank you for this question. Sayang, anonymous yung pangalan, di natin masya-shout out. So, with regard to early ACOP compliance, possible naman yan, pero ang ating early ACOP compliance based on SSS Circular number 2023-013, if you want to check on that one, shall be allowed up to 2 months prior to the above mentioned schedule. So let's say, no, depende kung ano kasing type of pensioner ito, but let's say retiree pensioner, no, ang birthday niya ay this September 24, pero ang birthday ni member ay Feb next year ang birthday ng ating retiree pensioner, no. So kung Feb, 2 months prior to that schedule, so that would be December, January, and 2 months prior to that, pwede siyang mag-ACOP, early ACOP compliance. Pero kung September, medyo very, very, very early pa yan, so i-move mo ng konti, no, around December or January para pumasok tayo sa early ACOP compliance. Thank you.
All right, next question. From Marita. Possible po ba na i-advance ang pag-comply ng ACOP kasi ang worry kung sa birth month ng deceased member, survivorship pension po ito, no? Baka abutan ng due at baka ma-stop ang pension. Nag-aalaw po ba kayo ng advance filing ng ACOP? May grace period ba bago ma-stop temporarily ang pension until makakomply? Thanks. Medyo similar siya sa part nito, similar din sa previous question.
Yes, oo, actually, no, medyo similar. So once again po, no, for our early ACOP compliance, it shall be allowed up to 2 months prior to the above mentioned schedule. So, iniisip ko ano yung baka maabutan ng June, no? Pero let's say kung ang birthday mo nga ay, kagaya kanina, ang birthday ay February, so 2 months before your scheduled date or scheduled compliance, pwede ka nang mag-early ACOP compliance. Pero wag naman yung ganitong sobrang advanced na, baka 1 year before, no? Hindi naman ganun. So, kailangan medyo malapit, and based on our rule nga, it will be allowed up to 2 months prior to the above mentioned schedule to the schedule that we mentioned earlier with regard to the compliance. So yun po yung ating inaalaw for the early ACOP. But very good na ngayon pa lang ay iniisip nyo na mag-comply sa ACOP. So siguro ang pwedeng gawin dyan ay ihanda na yung mga documentary requirements and wait for the time frame na kung kailan kayo pwede na mag-early compliance sa ating ACOP. With regard naman sa grace period, as you can see, no, may 2 months ka na nga na pwedeng early ACOP compliance, so allowance na yan, and binibigyan pa natin ng buong month na yun, no? Kung birthday niya ay June 19 nga, so sa buong month ng June, pwede siyang mag-comply kay ACOP. So, yun yung napaka, talaga, no? Hindi man lax, but we can say na we are really giving our members, our pensioners, the opportunity na mag-comply kasi on our end po, we also want our pensioners to comply at magtuloy-tuloy yung benefit na natatanggap nila.
Ayan. So, very detailed din ang pagsagot ng ating speaker, no? And itong susunod na question naman, Ms. Pat, from Jonah. Hello. Paano po if the pensioner is retiree and surviving legal spouse at the same time? Ang ACOP compliance niya po ba is required na 2 beses, yung sa birth month niya and birth month ng deceased spouse? Or okay na po 1 beses, either of the 2 scheduled of compliance?
Okay, hello. I hope you can hear me going back.
Ayan,
So,
ayan,
yeah,
meron
thank you,
na.
Miss Abby. So, hi, Miss Jonah. Good question also. Kung kayo ay, ito no, sample niya, parehas siyang retiree pensioner at surviving legal spouse. So, yes, kayo ay kailangan mag-comply kay ACOP ng 2 beses din. Dahil kailangan makita namin na ikaw ay, what you call this, buhay pa as a retiree pensioner natin. And as a surviving legal spouse, kailangan din makita namin na kayo ay nandyan pa rin at hindi pa nag-aasawang muli or nag-enter into cohabitation para makomply niyo yung ACOP at magtuloy-tuloy pa rin ang mga benefits, no, based sa inyong 2 types of pensioner as a retiree and surviving legal spouse. So yes, kailangan po mag-comply 2 times, no, dahil 2 po kayo pasok or kabilang kayo sa dalawang category na ito? Thank you, Miss Jonna.
Yan, and I believe, Miss Pat, last question na itong next, no? Ito na, babasahin ko na po. Kung email lang po ang gagawin for ACOP, ano po ang subject na ilalagay sa email? At ano pong email address? So this question is from Anonymous.
Okay, kung sa ACOP natin, no, very good na kino-consider nyo na mag-send ng email or mag-comply through email. So, lagay nyo lang po na ACOP and then the name of the pensioner, no, para malaman namin na ACOP compliance for that particular pensioner natin. At sa email naman mismo, no, yun yung lalagay sa subject. At sa email mismo, don't forget the attachments po na ating pinag-usapan kanina as to the documentary requirements. Kasi kahit mag-send ng email kung wala yung mga documentary requirements natin saan, hindi po ma-reject ang nasabing compliance. So, besides the subject, ACOP, and then dash, and then the name of the pensioner, sa email, sa body of the email, ilagay natin yung mga required documentary requirements. At anong email address? So, kung ikaw ay retiree pensioner residing in the Philippines, so pwede kang mag-send ng email na ito sa branches natin nationwide, no, in the Philippines. Makikita natin yung listahan na yan sa website ni SSS. Makikita mo doon kung ano yung email address, no, for that particular branch. At kung ikaw naman ay nasa abroad, pwede ka magpadala sa email address ng ating mga foreign branches or mismo sa ating OFW Contact Services section at ofw.relations@sss.gov.ph. Thank you.
Maasahan ang kabalikat ng bayan, handog sa miyembro, serbisyo magkabago. Express.